Yep. Hello, bats. They followed us. Right there, you got your toesies. Right there's the arch. Back there's the heel. We also have the worst kitten out these foot right there. There's the worst I've ever seen before in my lifetime. This was our next stop on that first trip back in 1869 with this big chamber right here. And right above us is a ceiling made out of marble that thought there was marble up there at one time. When they came into here, they wanted to go further past the point because there's no leaded iron to be found. Well, their best option is going down this way because it's more flat and even. However, the back one was so high as to the ceiling right there as well, so they didn't go that way. Only option they had was go over there to that drop off. They looked over the edge of the candles trying to find the bottom, but couldn't see anything past the 10-foot point. However, they still want to go down there. But before they did, what I found people was first see if they had still enough room to get the bottom of that pit. So the figure of the depth is what they would do. They pick up rocks, they toss them over the side, wait for the impact, count how many seconds it would take, and calculate the depth. So they pick up a small rock and toss it, they started counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Didn't hear a thing. So the scientific method is to get a bigger rock. You got 2 Henry walking over, they lob it over the side, one more time they counted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And once again, seconds turn the minutes without hearing anything hit the floor below it. And Henry the miners back in the day, a lot more superstition we know today, especially from the 1860s. And they believed, since they could not hear anything hit the floor below them, they thought there was no floor at all. They thought that it's about a bottomless pit. Now, has anybody noticed this room is just a little bit warmer than the big room this came from? Yeah, they noticed that too. And does anybody remember the name of this cave the Osage Navy used before when they first found it?
Devil's Den.
Devil's Den, yeah. They remember that too. So Henry and the miners are piecing that puzzle together. They have found a bottomless pit inside a cave called Devil's Den. The further they go down, the warmer it's starting to get. Well, they think a pit over there is going to tell you one place on earth nobody wants to go to. Another Branson gift shop. Next best thing. So, not only that, the ran the pathway fast enough out, but holding Henry stopped dead in his tracks and glanced up, and that's when he found that big ceiling of marble above us still today. However, one thing Henry was not, he was not a geologist. He was actually a politician of all things, other than being a miner. So, yeah. He told them that he had marble. They believed him. He believed the politician, and sure enough, he lied. there's no marble up there. That's just limestone. So the Marble Cave Mining Company realized there's no marble down here. All they had was back one. The back one they mined out of here only lasted about 4.5 years worth of mining. They sold it off for $700 per ton, about $20,000 per ton of these money to take. Back things made into gunpowder and fertilizer. Well, after 4.5 years of hard work and pushing these bats apart, all the rest were pooped out, and there was no more guano. So enough left the company, but the company went out of business. People at top lost their jobs. The town of Marlborough lost all its folks eventually back in 1891. It was also destroyed by a fire a couple months later, and that is why we have the White Fire in the Holes, based off a true story. But what they're mining out that back wall, they found out that pit over there is actually not bottomless at all. What they actually had down there was a 40-foot tall mountain of back wall that were absorbing the rocks that hit them, couldn't make a sound because it was a soft landing. That's what that was down there. It's not bottomless at all. That's actually a different route we can't take during other tours. We're not going down today, but you can go down there. It's about 130 foot drop from here to the bottom of that floor. That's pretty cool. But after they went out of business in 1889, the cave was sold for $10,000 to the Lynch family. Started candle tours October 18, 1894. And here we are today, 129 years later. Now at the time, there was not really a good rescue plan for anybody who got lost in this cave until about 1910. And in 1910, there was a group of Girl Scouts from Springfield came out here on a scout trip who wanted to go on a private cave tour by themselves. There's 12 of them. They had 2 dead mothers, and they had been to this cave before, and they did the Lynch sisters. So they got permission to come down here for about 8 hours by themselves, no companions at all, from the Lynch sisters up top. So they came on down, they were given their candles, off they went, and they were given 8 hours. Well, the 8-hour window had passed, not a single person to crawl back up that ladder that day to get out of that hole. They decided to give them another 30 minutes to see if anything happens. Another half hour passed, another hour, still not anybody made it back to that big chamber in that room. So they were going to start looking for them. So the Lynch sisters came on down from the cave, searched the entire big chamber, not finding anybody down there. Went back to the man's room, didn't find a soul in there either. Came down in here, still not finding anybody. They went further into the cave. They finally made it down to the pit over there. They went further past that down to the waterfall, about 50 feet on that point below us. In the waterfall, they found 2 of the Girl Scouts shaking and scared to death in the dark because the candles had gone out and not anybody else was around to relight them. They were so shaken up and scared they could not answer any questions they asked them, like where are the other 4 Girl Scouts, where are the 2 dead mothers? So scared they couldn't say anything about it. So they took him out of the cave that day. They took him up top to their hospitality house, let him spend the night, and they had to get some more answers in the morning as to what happened in the cave. Well, they slept. The Lynch sisters came back down, searched the entire cave once again looking for him, but did not find a single candle, overall, pickaxe, or anything from those Girl Scouts or the Den Mothers. Well, the next morning, the two Girl Scouts woke up. They asked them what in the world happened in the cave yesterday. Well, I think they said that their candles went out, the 12 Girl Scouts disappeared, and never saw them again after that. To this day, there are no answers to what happened to the other Girl Scouts or the two Den Mothers. Didn't find any of them down here ever again after that point. Now, in years past that, they decided to install a plank right here made out of wood, and they put 5 candles on the edge of it and called it the Evening Star. They put that there because if you got down to the bottom of that pit and got lost, you would look up and see this candles up here. You were heading the right direction down this cave and went up this way. In fact, we still have that today, except it's one little line. This one we use today, it's actually what's called our bat light, just in case the bat's out here during the nighttime. But it also plays homage to those Girl Scouts we never found in this cave after that. Now, in years past, after those Girl Scouts went missing, people swore they heard the sounds of children singing in that waterfall as they stood there by themselves every now and then. Happened several times. One of our tour guys named Dave has worked here since '92, and this time he's only been scared of this cave one time. This cave was down that waterfall. Several years ago, they used to do maintenance down here by yourselves. We were a cave guy, you come down here, work overnight, work on handles, stuff like that, and go back home the next day, take a couple days off. When Dave would do this, he'd always bring a Walkman with him so he didn't have to hear any singing happen to him down there in that waterfall. Well, one night it's his turn to walk down here in the cave. Gets out to the waterfall about 12 midnight, takes out his Walkman, and the batteries are dead. Has no music. When he starts working on the handrails, about 12:30, the singing starts approaching in the darkness. It got really quiet, then it got louder until 3 o'clock in the morning. It sounded like they were 5 feet away from him, shining a light around him. Not a soul's around, but yet they were still singing to him in the dark. That's the only time Dave has been scared of this cave. He ran up these stairs at the speed of Mach Jesus, made it out of here in 3 minutes flat. He has a land speed record for leading this cave, believe it or not. He holds it to this day. He was so scared he did not come back the next day, or even next week, or about 2 months later, he finally came back to work in this cave. He was that terrified. Well, after that, a tour guy named Ed heard that story. He didn't believe it. He thought it was a bunch of bogus stuff. So one night after the last tour had left, he took a tape recorder down from the cave to the waterfall, played it overnight, and recovered the next morning. The next morning, he found the tape recorder completely smashed to smithereens 5 feet away from where he left that originally the night before. He recovered the tape, played it back, and sure enough, 12 midnight, the singing started to push the tape recorder as well, just like what happened to Dave. At 3 o'clock in the morning, they were sounding like they're 1 feet away from the tape recorder, and about 3 o'clock, the tape recorder shut off, didn't play anything else after that. That's when Ed believed that story as well. I didn't believe that story either until one time I was standing right here looking down. I could have swore I heard the sound of 2 people singing in that waterfall running down below us. It was so freak actually ran out here as well. It's happened to a lot of other folks over the years after that. A lot of weird stuff has happened in this cave. I've heard my name whispered to me one time. Other folks have heard the same thing. Other folks have encountered footsteps behind them walking through this cave in the dark every now and then. Lots of strange stuff has happened. All right, guys, let's get moving. This next walk we're about to go down is uneven, so please watch your step and hold the handrails. A little bit sideways, a little bit wonky. Also down there is Tall Man's Headache. Remember that 4-foot hole you went through up top? Down there, but this time it's made of solid rock, so please watch your heads. Let's go see that waterfall, shall we?
Yes.